Now to discuss former Adjutant General of the Arizona National Guard, Major General Michael McGuire. I know this is always a challenge, General, but let's take a look at some of what Biden's military cutbacks are going to affect in the Navy. The Navy will buy 9 ships, retire 24. The overall fleet shrinks to 280 ships in 2070. That's a ways out. Even though the Navy has made it clear it needs a fleet of 500 to defeat China in a conflict. Let's leave it there for right now for the Navy, because I wanted you to address that, if you would, because we know that there's a big move on the left to cut back on military, even as the world is getting riskier. What's your take on this?
Can I just add something to that, though? Because breaking just now, the Pentagon apparently has announced, speaking of the Navy, that we are going to send 6 Navy Growler aircraft to Germany. And then these 100 Switchblade drones to Ukraine, and then also sending low-range anti-aircraft systems to Slovakia.
Yeah, so thanks, Bob and Heather. Let's talk first about the question about the Navy. So the issue we face right now in the Ukraine is that we continue to call for de-escalation. I thought your reporter did a great job there. The Pentagon is behind on the reporting on the ground. And as we talked, I've been on many times with both of you, that if Kyiv did not fall in the first 48 hours, ultimately the will of the Ukrainian people would push back, and they've tasted liberty and freedom, and you see that they're doing great things. How does that affect our Defense Department? Well, the truth is, my biggest fear about this whole thing has been what's going on with China. And as we've hollowed out the military over the last few years, we've walked away from Sun Tzu's principle of mass. I'm an F-16 pilot by trade, and the cost of the F-35 has continued to skyrocket. Just like with the ships, we're buying less. And the problem is we still need to be able to cover these kind of near-peer threats around the world, and we just don't have enough equipment to do it. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Army continues to drive up personnel costs, and the answer really is to pivot away from having large formations standing in formations, but going back to the constitutional context of the country, which is raising an Army only when we need it and maintaining a Navy.
Well, let's take a look. Biden's budget would mean the smallest Army since World War II. Here's a look at it. Active forces reduced from 485,473. And in terms of the Air Force is now the smallest, oldest, least ready it's been in 75 years. Air Force wants only 33 F-35 fighter jets, down from 48 requested. Now, I know there's always the battle within the Pentagon. Everybody wants more money. The subcontractors and contractors, we understand that, the military-industrial complex. But it's a dangerous world out there. Do you think we're underfunding what we need to fund in the military?
I think the funding in the military is not properly allocated. And what I mean by that is we could buy back those 30,000 troops that are being proposed to be reduced in the National Guard. And you said at the beginning, I was the commander of the National Guard. We could buy 90,000 citizen soldiers for the same price as 30,000 standing in formation. But use that savings to buy equipment.
Because we're out of time now, but I did want to point out this budget does increase military spending allegedly to $83 billion, but you're saying it could be appropriated more appropriately.
Correct.
And it does. And it actually cancels it out when you talk about inflation and all that, which we can't even get into.
And I'm running for the U.S. Senate. That's why everybody's got to go to my website and go to ipickmick.com, because the problem is, even if we hold spending level, we're going backwards with gas at $5, $6 a gallon, because the military's got to pay that same price.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're already talking about the shortages that we have in the Navy, and then announcing that we're sending still all of this over there to Ukraine. I mean,
well, hopefully they'll replace that, spend money on it. But General McGuire, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks to both of you. God bless you.